Hello, it's Kadisha. I'm back with another video. The Lord is faithful. He will provide. And I just want to let people know who may be going through a season where it's difficult and you don't know where's your next breakthrough coming from or when it's coming. And I'm not here to tell you where or when it's coming, but I'm here to tell you to trust the Lord. I just recently had to adjust in my working hours. And so, of course, with that came a little bit of difference in what I was making. And so I was like, okay, Lord, I've started living to this lifestyle because I was making this much, which is a whole nother story. So we have to make sure that we're content, of course, in what we have. And if you're able to get through a month with the amount you have, when you get more, don't don't add more bills to your life. Just that's, like I said, another story for a different day. But yeah, so I had another bill that was coming on, and I'm like, Lord, I didn't really ask the Lord how I was gonna do it. I was just like, okay, Lord, I know in this season you have me doing this, so if something else is coming up, then I am expecting you to provide, because that's just who you said you are. You said you have great plans for me. And so you said you're not a man you should lie. You said all these things that I can take at your word, and you said that it will not return void. So I'm just expecting your word to be true. So the Lord just this week, I'm gonna say it was actually, was it last week? No, it was this week. Yeah, this week. And I was like, oh my goodness, the Lord allowed me to be able to work more, a little bit more, not as much as I was. And it actually balanced out to an extra bill that I'll be having going forward. And I was like, man, Lord, you are so, so good. And like I said, this is more so just for encouragement for those who's just wondering and waiting for the breakthrough. Trust the Lord. Trust what he says. And once he tells you something, believe it. And I know that's hard when we're living in a life where you're wanting things right when you ask for it. And this happened to me. I was talking to someone and they were asking me about doing something. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I gave them my word that I was going to do it. And I know, like Lord said, the Lord is not a man that he should lie. I'm a man as in human being, human, not as a man. But I can lie. I can not do things that I said I was going to do. So in no comparison am I saying I'm God. I feel like we do, but this person just kept, and I wouldn't say kept, but they like reminded me that I told them that. And I'm like, I told you yes. And I don't think it's a bad thing for us to remind God and just say, like, Lord, you said this. I don't think it's a bad thing. However, once the Lord has told you, yeah, believe it. And don't worry about it. And I know that's so much easier said than done. I'm not trying to, because I was actually reading this in one of they have these daily scriptures, daily readings. And it was talking about basically don't get on to your brother or make your brother feel bad for something that is small compared to you, because it could be vice versa. Something that I take as like really huge, like it's like, oh my, this is too much, can be small to them. So this is not to belittle in any way. It's just wanting to encourage you, because I have the proof. Like I've gone through the paths where I've just seen God be so faithful, because I've been in a time, and this is so funny because the Lord is so, so good. I can remember, and I remember Pastor talked about this too. He said, I remember when I first got saved, I would waste my prayers on anything. Like, Lord, just let this truck start up or so. It was so funny. And I can remember that. It wasn't when I first got saved, because I didn't grow up in the church. And so I always knew who I was, had an idea, but I didn't have my own relationship until I grew up and became an adult. But I remember when I was a kid, and one of my like childhood friends, we were talking on the phone, and they hung up, and I was like, Lord, let my friend call back. And they called back. Funny thing. And I was just like, we waste our prayers, and I say waste, but not really. Because God is so good, and I just want to share that because, oh my goodness, it makes me think about when I can't remember which exactly it was. I don't know if it was a blind man or a man who couldn't talk, but I want to say it was a blind man that Jesus healed, and then he said, or it was with leprosy. Jesus done so many miracles, like the Bible said. If they put all the miracles that Jesus did, you wouldn't have a book big enough to fill it. So he did that too. But I can't remember which exactly the scripture it was where it talks about Jesus, healed the man. He told him, "Don't go tell anybody." And the guy just went telling everybody because it's like the goodness of God. You cannot hold it in, no matter. It's kind of like, how we be with gossip, which is so much different. We like, you feel like you gotta tell gossip, and like, Lord, like, no, you don't have to tell that. But with God, like the promises, like the miracles that God does, like I cannot not tell it. And it's not to brag on me or to think like I'm a favorite child. It's to brag on God, because the thing of the Lord, what he would do for me, he would do it for you also, because that's just how he is. It's how he is. And so I just want to talk about the goodness of God and just basically trusting him even when it doesn't look good. And when he tells you, yes, it's done, keep at the path at whatever it is that he's told you to do, and believe that it's going to get done because it's just who he is, and be willing to share, because of course the Revelations 12:11 says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. So I think it's so important that if you're not even doing a video, you can do, or just a small group, tell your friends, your family about the goodness of God when he provides miracles in your life, because it gives them hope as well. So thank you so much for watching. Like I always say, saca que quieres ver en otros. Until next time, bye.